On the news, we told you about reactions trailing in as regards the incoming new INEC Chairman Joash Amupitan that was being appointed by the President Bola Tinubu. And so we have a political analyst, Francis Chilaka, who will be sharing his thoughts with us as regards Nigeria's political trajectory, decision, and of course this latest appointment for the electoral umpire in the country. Thank you so much, Francis, for joining us. So before we even, talk about Professor Amupitan, there have been debate about if Nigeria's president should continue to appoint the INEC chair or not. So what side of the divide are you?
Well, for me, I think it is totally wrong, considering the fact that you do not appoint the referees for a match you want to play or a game that you're involved in. It should be somebody that is free of any influence, so to say. So I think that it is high time we move away from this idea of having somebody who is in power, who is contesting, to be the one to appoint the umpire. Don't forget, he who pays the piper dictates the tone.
So, invariably, are you saying that even with the incoming of a new INEC chief, there's a possibility of Nigerians not witnessing an independent, transparent, neutral, even a credible institution in INEC, where the head, of course, is being handpicked by the presidency?
Well, INEC, as far as a lot of Nigerians know or can say, INEC has not been a body that people can rely on. The level of voters' apathy we have in this country today is as a result of INEC, because people no longer believe in INEC. People don't trust INEC anymore. So whatever you're doing without looking at electoral reforms, without doing, giving even INEC, you can give INEC some power to enable them function very well, so that whoever is declared as a winner of an election deserves it. So it's going to be very, very funny the way things are going, because we talked about glitches and tell us what manner of glitches and what caused those glitches. And then you're bringing a new person. Where is he going to start from? Where do you want him to continue from? Nobody has probed INEC after all the millions and billions sunk into it for the last election. So a lot of questions are on the minds of Nigerians. And the only way these questions can be resolved is if we have a forensic audit of INEC.
So there's also this other question that Nigerians have been asking, Francis. Must the INEC chief be a professor? Why can't the president look elsewhere, some other areas, to pick someone that can add that sensitive post?
Well, it's the same question I've been asking. Why must we have a professor who works for somebody who has a school cert? I'm just sharing my own thoughts. Who have a school cert to become a leader, So something is definitely wrong with how INEC chairman is appointed, because you appoint an INEC chairman, and then people with false certificates are getting into power. So something is wrong. I think it is high time we begin to think as if there is no box. I do not think that INEC is an institution set up for professors. If it is, then the professors have continued in one way or the other to fail Nigerians and the aspirations of Nigerians.
Now, Francis, Professor Joash Amupitan will be in charge of an institution that seems to have lost credibility in the eyes of some Nigerians. Let me put it that way. It's part of the things you mentioned. We're still in the storm of public distrust. We're talking about free and fair elections and some other issues. Now, can that perception be changed under his watch? What must he do to change the narrative?
Well, the only thing he has to do to change the narrative is to be available to everyone, is to understand that despite being appointed by Mr. President, but that his loyalty lies with the Nigerian people. So he needs to show character, he needs to show integrity, he needs to show Nigerians that, I am not INEC because I'm appointed by Mr. President, but I am INEC because I believe and the fact that power belongs to the people. And, he has to go extra mile to prove to the Nigerian people that, yes, we're going to have an INEC that is completely independent of the executive.
Okay, so what's your fairest assessment of the outgone INEC Chief, Professor Mahmood Yakubu? Anything that you feel that Professor Amupitan can borrow from, maybe a legacy that you feel he can consolidate on?
Well, when you may have built legacy over time, and one thing happens that spoils that legacy, you no longer have one. The problem with INEC is the fact that people have always said that elections are rigged, elections are not free and fair. And this idea of moving voters' ballot papers from one end to another, and all of that. So for me, what I would say to the new INEC chairman is to ensure that the elections are transparent and that those who are contesting are well vetted, so that we know that, you're vetting them and they have passed the criteria set for them to become elected officers. So INEC needs to work to ensure that there is no more hitches.
Well, there seems to be a hitch, of course, at our guest's end. But then thank you so much, Francis Chilaka.